Boxing legends predict Manny Pacquiao versus
Sa mapagpalang araw
Mario
po sa ating
Barrios.
lahat, welcome
Terrence
to my
Crawford
YouTube
believes
channel. This is
Barrios is a
DJ
great
Master.
matchup for Manny, but
Mapapakinggan na po
admits
natin ng
Pacquiao's
mga
age makes it
opinion at
unpredictable. At 46 years
prediction ng
old,
mga
Crawford calls it a
boxing legends
50-50
po
fight,
sa
acknowledging
paparating na
Pacquiao's
laban ni Manny
legacy,
Pacquiao
but
at Barrios
questioning
po.
how much he still
So
has
pakinggan
left
po
in the tank.
natin, may
Have you got
mga
any thoughts
nagsasabi
on that
na
fight with Mario Barrios? And
katulad
is
dito
there any
kay
chance we see
Crawford,
you still in there at 46?
na
Nah,
sinasabi niya
at 46, I don't
na
plan on
50-50
being
kasi
back in the ring, you know.
sa
But
age na 46 talaga may edad
Mario
na raw.
Barrios
So si
is a
Barrios
great
ay yun
matchup for
nga,
Manny Pacquiao, and I
malaki ang
think
buwan sa edad, 30 years old, kaya para
at
kay
this age, it's a 50-50
Terrence
fight
Crawford,
for Manny
this is a
Pacquiao.
50-50 fight
At
at magandang laban to
46,
yun.
about to make
Ayun,
his
kay
way back
Sugar Ray
into the
Lord
ring.
naman,
I saw him training this morning, but a lot of people are worried
sa
about
kanya naman
him.
parang
He's been
wala siya
inactive.
sinasabi
Bob
na
Arum, his
lihado si
longtime,
Pacquiao at
guy,
Yamado. Ang
even
sinasabi
said,
niya
I
lang
don't want
ay
to see him get hurt.
kung siya
Rooting for
nakakalamas
him,
na
but I don't want to see
alam
him
niya
get
sa
hurt.
sarili ni
What do
Pacquiao
you
kung
think
kaya niya pang manalo
as a
hindi kasi
guy,
siya may
you know,
katawan siyempre,
who's
kailangan
probably thought
ng
about getting back
matinding
in the ring a few
determination, parang
times? You know
isip
what
niya
I'm
yung
saying? Like,
mindset.
what do you think?
Kung ano yung sinasabi ng isip niya, ayun ang gagawin ng kanyang katawan. So, sana nga, kung ano yung nasa isip niya, ay kaya pang gawin ng kanyang katawan. Kasi minsan, nasa isip na lang natin, pero yung katawan nila sumusunod.
Do you
Pero
think
sa nakikita ko naman kay Manny
idea of
Pacquiao,
like
he still
inactivity when you have somebody who
has the speed and
lives
power
his
and
life to
footwork.
do it is a big
So,
deal, you know?
parang neutral lang si Sugar Ray Leonard. Magaling na boxer yan ang kapanahonan niya, nila Duran, Thomas Hearns, Martin Hagler, yan sila yung mga talagang mga elite boxers na mga kapanahonan nila.
Hey, last thing, like he's fighting a 30-year-old.
So, ito pa yung ilang mga sinabi ni
What would
Sugar
that
Ray
be like
Leonard.
running with
Pakinggan
a
natin
motor
mga
like
kapatid.
that, later in your years? Like against a 30-year-old motor against like, your body's just different, I'm 41, so like I know my body's different than it was when.
You a baby.
But what do you think about that, like the motor difference between a 30-year-old and a 46-year-old?
You know what, man? It's all up here and it's here. It's what you got. It's what you use. Again, there's no way to answer this, but.
I mean, he's one of your favorites all time. He's
Ito
coming
naman
back
si
now. He's
Michael
off for 4
Buffer,
years. I've
ang
been watching him
sikat
train
na sikat
every
na
day.
ring
He looks
announcer,
like he
di ba, yung
hasn't missed a
nagsasabi
beat.
ng
He's
let's get ready to rumble. So, bilib to kay Paquiao, mga ka-DJ. Pakinggan natin siya.
Was 45 when he won the heavyweight title. Bernard was what, 43, 44, 45 when he won his third world title. So I mean, listen, miracles can happen. He's focused. He looks fit, and I wish him well. I love him. Wish him the best.
Mutual.
Picture?
Yep.
Okay, hold on.
To tell them to hang him up. He's
Isang
older,
magaling na
he's
trainer din sa boxing po.
been out of the
Pakinggan natin
ring.
siya.
He's fighting I'm not gonna say a young champion, but he's fighting a very decent champion. Probably the lesser of the three of the welterweight champions. But he is getting up in age. Will he be able to recapture some of that speed and snap to his punches?
Ang sinasabi niya rito kung nagawa raw ni George Foreman at age of
much later
45.
age. So
Si Bernard Hopkins naman, naging champion pa 49.
Manny has a chance. I think that he has a
Maaaring
chance
kaya rin ni
against
Pacquiao.
a good champion.
Do you feel like with Mario Barrios in particular then, it's a champion they've targeted because in his last performance, he didn't really, set the world alight. It was a draw and he's left a few question marks around himself.
Not only that, the other thing is Norman is is a very good fighter, and so is Boots. I mean, you're talking about two very, very good fighters that are, I think, on a different level than Barrios is.
Do you feel like that this could be the risk where, let's say, if Manny was to have success, was to become champion again, then he then looks at it and thinks, oh, can I go on a run? Can I get one of these other names?
That is a big risk, but I don't think that would be the fight that. Well, those two wouldn't be the fights that they would be looking for. I'm sure that if Manny is fortunate enough to be in great shape, and listen, Freddie's a master. Freddie will figure out a way to win a fight that's winnable, and
So, lumalabas to
maybe
pabor
then
to kay
guide
Pacquiao,
him
mga
towards
ka-DJ.
other.
Kayo pong
46 years old. You have to remember that. So give your body some rest. rest right now is Manny Pacquiao's friend in between training, in between sparring
Si
sessions.
De La Hoya
There's
naman
no
obviously,
shame in taking a day out for two,
malaki
Manny.
pa rin kanyang
Trust
paniniwala
me.
na kaya ni
Let your
Pacquiao
body
dahil
relax, let your body
yun
rest.
nga,
He'll do
nakapagpahinga
fine.
siya.
He's experienced. He's
Impress
got
din yung katawan na
obviously the power because it never leaves
kaya
you.
makikita natin
The
kung
speed
sino
I'm a
yung mga
little worried
pabos
about, but
hindi
I think look,
sa
Barrios is a
pagbabalik ni
dog.
Manny Pacquiao.
He's a world champion, and he's no slouch. So I think it's going to be a good fight. I wish Manny all the best. I'm not sure who's going to win. I really haven't seen Barrios, but I think Barrios, I mean, the youth is obviously with him in his corner.
Retirement.
Well, Paquiao's a big name, and obviously Barrios a great fight for Barrios because he's a champion, and I think Paquiao, being that they both have connections with PBC.
Ito naman si Garcia, isang magaling din na trainer.
Getting another title opportunity.
Siya nag-train kay si Rios, tsaka kay Margarito yung mga binugbog ni Pacquiao. Pero siya sinasabi niya naman dito, iba na talaga pag may edad na. So, parang lumalabas mas tingin niya mas malaki chance ni Manny Barrios naman. So iba-iba po opinion ng ating mga boxing legends, mga trainers, mga experts natin sa boxing. So kayo po ang tumimbang. Sa tingin nyo, alin mas marami nagsasabi na mas malaking chance ni Pacquiao o mas malaking chance ni Manny Barrios na
You think it's impossible for him to beat Mario Barrios?
ma-maintain yung kanyang belt sa WBC?
That he should have that power. Barrios is big and a strong boy, so I don't see that happening. But is it possible? Anything's possible. George Foreman did it. There's been others that do it. But I really don't see it happening.
But Pacquiao's speed's the name of his game. Do you think he doesn't have that? There's no way he doesn't have the same speed as before.
There's no way, bro. You guys, I don't know if you guys seen his last performance.
The exhibition where against that big guy.
It was actually embarrassing to see that shit. You know, so it wasn't that good. It wasn't that good. You know what I mean?
If Pacquiao wins, what does that do for him? Where does that put him all time?
Hell, come on, at that age, after like a few years, I don't know how many years he's been out. That'd be impressive. It's hard to think it's gonna happen, but that shit would be nice, man. It would be nice. Very few have done it, and he's actually one that could do it.
Not naturally as big a man as those other welterweights. So start there. That's a fair point. He moved up in weight, Barrios. So he's not.
Ito si Teddy Atlas. Isang sikat din na trainer na handle niya rin yan si Michael Moorer, si Mike Tyson, isang tagahanga rin ni Manny Pacquiao.
I don't even know when he first
turned pro, you would have thought
maybe he
could have been a jockey. Paghanga kay Pacquiao.
I mean, he was that.
Bilib siya kay Pacquiao.
Yeah, jockey's up around 105 pounds, I think, somewhere around that.
Pwede pa, may chance.
I mean, can you imagine him though going to the whip? He might have killed him. That's the only thing. Yeah, you would have had Petter. What is it called? Peter, whatever. Peter, you would have had Peter coming after you. Look what he did to this horse. But look, I love Pacquiao. One of my favorite people. One of my favorite fighters in the whole world. He's moved up from whatever. Incredible weight. People forget about that. That's why I brought it up. How many weight classes this man has really moved up. Incredible. Just incredible. But now, yeah, Barrios wouldn't be as big as those other guys, but he's still a guy that's confident. He's a guy that's a world champion. He's a guy who throws a lot of punches. He's a guy who's younger, who's active. Who I know you can't go by this guy beat this guy, but he could beat that guy, but he could beat this guy, but you can't go by that in my business, in this business, because styles make fights. But you're right. He beat Ugas. You could say Ugas was a little older than when he fought him a little bit, than when Pacquiao fought him, and maybe that made a difference, whatever. But he did take a lot of punishment, Pacquiao, in the Ugas fight.
Or his network, his YouTube show.
1 second. Do you have? So you got Manny winning?
Yes.
You got Manny winning?
No, against Barrios.
Yeah.
No, I think every great fighter got one great fight left in him. That had to be Thurman. And Manny, I think Manny seems to wanna. Manny appears to be like how Bernard and Roy were. Like he's really one of those great old school
iba na
fighters where
iba na talaga
he's got to go out on his shield.
Iba yung lakas
Going
ng
out on your
dating
shield
Paquiao
used to
at
not
sa
mean
ngayon na
just
edad niyang 46,
in any given
kaya
fight.
iba
It
na,
used to mean that's how they went out.
Iba-iba
Period.
talaga opinion,
Fighters.
no?
And Manny's like that.
I do not want to see.
Hard
to see Manny
Sa
Pacquiao
July
lose
19,
to
rather,
Mario
mga
Barrios
ka-DJ.
because of who
So,
they
yan,
are,
mga
but
sinasabi.
who they are now. You know,
Sean, I do not want to see like Manny on the knee, mouthpiece out. That's gonna hurt me.
Kevin
bro.
McBride, Mike
That's
Tyson.
gonna hurt me.
About Manny Pacquiao.
No, I
as a
love
fighter
Manny.
overall.
I'm Manny going in too. I'm not saying that Manny is not capable. Manny is one of the dudes that I think definitely deserves to be in. Manny always has been and always will be one of my favorites because of the way he fights. I mean, a guy to come back after being knocked out in two of his first three fights, then come back and do all the things that Manny did. That story is also just as awesome as Vinny Pazienza's story. You feel me? I mean, come on. Most guys can't bounce back from a knockout period. He got knocked out early in his career twice and came back and did all this.
Well, you know what?
Super
Being that we're
middleweight
talking about these old
heavyweight.
fights,
Light
Roy,
heavyweight.
can you think you can rate your favorite
Kaya
5 fights of your career of all
Sa
time?
totoo lang,
my career?
Yeah.
Kakaibang species talaga si Manny Pacquiao sa age niyang 46.
John Ruiz,
na magagawa niya
Mateo
pa
Griffin
yan.
II,
Magaling tong boxer
Richard
na to.
Hall,
Kaya isa rin to
and
sa
probably
na humahanga sa ating
Jeff
pambansang
Lacy.
kamao.
Sound like Pacquiao
Lumalabas
trying to
sa mga
live.
sinasabi, mas maraming
But Pacquiao not Pacquiao.
Philip Kepak.
It's tough to go against him in this situation because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might around and beat Pacquiao up. I mean, not knock him out, but you know what I mean, beat him on the cards, beat him behind that jab.
Similar to like
Sinasabi niyo
Ugas,
naman dito,
right?
panahon to ni Barrios. Kaya tapos na yung panahon ni Paquiao.
It's a good fight, but
parang lumalabas.
it's more of a good fight for Barrios. Pacquiao don't need it.
So,
But
iba-iba
Pacquiao
ang
want to
opinion
come
ng
back, and he
mga-
want to come back with a bang. So
Mga napakinggan natin. Pero sa
he
huli,
can make it happen. Make it happen.
magkakaalaman pa rin niya sa July.
Because I would love, if Barrios was my fighter, I would love to have a Pacquiao on record. I mean, I would love something like that. And that's a fight you know you got to get ready for.
So yun po mga ka-DJ na napakinggan natin yung mga comments at mga predictions ng mga boxing legends, mga boxing analysts, mga experts po. So abangan natin sa July 19 sa Las Vegas, Nevada. Ang pagtotoos ni Manny Pacquiao at ni Mario Barrios, at dito na malalaman kung mananaig pa ba ang ating pambansang kamao o dito na matatapos ang kanyang karir. Sana hindi nga kapusin si Manny Pacquiao. Hanggang sa muli, pansamantala nagpapaalam po si DJ Master nagsasabing laban lang. God bless you all. See you on my next vlog. Bye.